Welcome back to Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you the hottest comic book, movie, and TV action. I'm your host, Cade, and alongside me today in the studio, as always, it's never ending, Troy. You're always here.
I basically live here.
You live here.
I do.
I'm going to rent this room to you.
Oh, no, I've just been living here in secret.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, like those people who like live in the walls of people's like houses.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Tell me more. You've piqued my interest.
After we're done recording it, I'll show you some YouTube videos, but people like live in these like secret crevices in people's houses.
Okay. And I've been paying rent like a sucker this whole time.
Like a sucker, Troy.
Oh, well. Welcome back. We're here. Aren't we?
We sure are, Troy. You're killing it with the intros.
Look, what are we doing today? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. How about I tell you?
Okay.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We got about 1,763,000 trailers that we need to get through.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's closer to 8.
Look, does anyone even care about the Super Bowl anymore? Is it all just like trailer week?
Well, I did not realize. Like I've been watching the Super Bowl for a while, but I don't. You know, obviously where we live in Australia, we don't necessarily get. The ads and all that sort of stuff. Like, if you want to see the ads, you got to go online and check it out there or something like that. I don't even really know. So I didn't really know like that they went so hard with trailers all the time.
I know, it's really quite ridiculous. I have the NFL like season pass type of thing.
Yeah.
And I got to see all these ads in like real time.
Oh, nice.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I was working really hard this week at work. Had the iPad sitting there just blasting the Super Bowl at me.
Yeah,
the whole time.
That's nice. I like it. But a few dropped and a few dropped later on in the week. So we're going to go through every single one of those. And one of the ones that dropped was a little teaser, I guess, for the Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah.
Which they basically came out and said, hey, guess what, you guys? This is coming tonight, and you can stream it directly after the Super Bowl. And we did. Pretty much. I think I watched it that night. We're going to do a little mini review on that one as well, and a whole bunch of other shenanigans, as is always the case.
I think so. And I really want to talk about, when we get to that, maybe how Netflix is going to change the game here.
Or will it?
We'll discuss that a little bit more.
We'll discuss that later. And one thing we're going to kick it off with this week, though, is your little creation, the Comic Confidential brag board, where basically, if you're a member of the Comic Confidential Facebook community, you can jump on to that post and brag about the shit that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a pretty good response for the first week out there.
We did.
I think this is going to go well. I just see this growing week by week by week. This will just become the brag board podcast now.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I hope you're okay with that name change.
I'm totally cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But this week, I guess the person that we chose to, brag about is Chris Bridget, who has a little company called Cridget Creations, and he designs and produces his own sports apparel and merchandise. And get this, Troy, you'll be a big fan of this.
Yeah.
He specializes in hockey jerseys.
Damn.
That speaks to your inner Kevin Smith, mate.
My inner and my outer Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cridget Creations, both with K's, by the way, which is pretty cool. It's
That's
a cool
pretty
way to
funky. It has a good little logo too. As a logo designer, Troy, I can appreciate that.
Now we're gonna have what are we gonna have? We're gonna have the Twitter handle or the Instagram handle or something like that.
What we'll do is, because he shared his Facebook page.
Okay.
So we'll have a link to that in our show notes, so you can jump onto his page, have a look at all the cool stuff he does. Maybe we should get him to do a Comic Confidential shirt. I wonder how much that will cost. We'll find out.
Hundreds of dollars at least.
I reckon this guy is very affordable.
I would assume so, and probably top quality as well.
They are
He's a top quality bloke.
I had a bit of a look at what he does, and it's really cool, man. He has like a Buzz Lightyear one.
Oh, so they are like they're nerd related type of things. Yeah, nice. I do like that.
Yeah,
I like nerd related stuff.
It's awesome, man. So go on there, check out Chris Bridget's Cridget Creations. Wow,
that's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful.
Hey, you want to get him some trailers?
Yeah, I do.
Straight away.
Let's get right into it.
As we said, so the Super Bowl did drop on Monday. It didn't drop; it just happens. It happens all the time.
You know who did drop it though?
Don't even get me started. Look, I will go out on the record and say congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for finally winning a championship for the first time in the history of the game
in the world.
I think. No, look, in all seriousness, it was a very good game. They played very well. It's very deserving. I am a New England's Patriots supporter. Don't at me. I am a New England's Patriots supporter. For the Australian listeners who don't really understand what that means, it's kind of like, if you understand rugby league, it's kind of like being a Brisbane Broncos supporter.
Oh, yeah, it's exactly like that.
It's exactly like...
Or a Melbourne
Storm supporter, which I also am. Brisbane Broncos. This guy right next to me is a Melbourne Storm supporter. So don't add us anyway, but my point is, well done to the Philadelphia Eagles. Shame that we couldn't get that 6th goddamn ring for Tom Brady.
Oh, well, you know what? If he just hung on to that ball like a quarterback should.
like a 40-year-old, 6'4", lanky-ass, slow quarterback should. But I love the guy. He's an absolute legend. And we'll get him next year.
Yeah. Surely.
Yeah, I guess the point, though, more is the fact that we also got a whole bunch of trailers. And we're going to go through them in no particular order, except kind of the order they dropped. But
I think that makes sense.
So it's kind of like...
So it is in an order.
It is in an order, but I don't know. I was just kind of like... Because I was kind of I was playing catch-up myself. I was like, oh my God, there's that one, there's that one, there's that one. And we're going to start off by kicking things off, which is probably a poor choice of word for this movie in particular. Skyscraper with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which is basically 2018's Die Hard, but probably worse.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw this trailer. And I only saw this trailer today, and I was like, is this Die Hard 2.0?
Well, there's been Die Hard 4.0, so it'd have to be Die Hard 6.0.
Yeah, I feel, but this is like the reboot, just with The Rock.
Die Hard 2.0.0,
yeah.
0.20 or whatever. To the power of 4.
Okay, so this is Die Hard Squared.
Die Hard Squared.
Yeah.
Definitely. And, you know, I mean, I don't really know too much about it because I haven't jumped on and checked it out. It looks fine. I mean, it looks like another Rock vehicle. As we've spoken about this like plenty of times before, The Rock has about 17 movies coming out every year for the next 40 years. So we're going to get a lot of Rock.
Yeah, this one, it looks really interesting. I mean, the story looks quite average.
Well,
the building's on fire. Is it like the Great Inferno meets
no, because
Die Hard?
So basically what I gather from this is this company has created the world's tallest building.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and people live in there.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Except, as The Rock says, they haven't got good security. Because why would you need it? Because your building's so tall. Who's going to break in? Right?
Everyone.
Right? Everyone, apparently.
I feel like that's a massive flaw.
But naturally, there's going to be some sort of secret thing, and The Rock is ex-military. And if I haven't mentioned it yet, he is also an amputee. I think this is inspired by an actual character, but I don't think it's like based on a true story or anything like that. Except that crane jump. That crane jump towards the end is definitely based on a real thing.
Now, that crane jump becomes like even more ludicrous knowing that he only has one leg.
Look, I mean, the disabled athletes can do amazing things.
Absolutely, they can.
Are you saying they can't? Are you saying that it's not possible? Are you saying if it was an able-bodied man, he would easily jump off the crane and into the building, or more easy? I don't know what you're saying. We should move on before we get ourselves into trouble.
Yep.
Anyway, Skyscraper, that is coming out the 13th of July.
Oh, wait, I have one question.
Oh, yes.
How will he utilize his leg that will like make it all worthwhile?
He's going to use it to... There's going to be a machine, and it's going to be... I don't know, but he's going to throw it, and it's going to stop the machine. Like, okay, here we go.
Oh, so you're thinking like a Terminator scene?
No, sort of, but it's more like he's like crawling through the vents, right?
Okay, yeah.
And there's obviously a fan in the vents because there always is. He needs something to stop the fan so he can get through and save the day, and he has to save the day on one leg because he left his other leg stopping the fan.
I do like that.
That's how I see it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's good. I was thinking like he's more so going to be falling.
Yeah.
And he uses it as like an ice pick type thing.
Oh, God.
You know it's The Rock, man. He's going to do it.
Anything is possible. Speaking of anything possible, Nev Campbell is in this goddamn movie, and I swear to God, I haven't seen Nev Campbell since Scream 2.
And what'd you say? Party of 5 as
Party
well?
of 5.
Wow, that's a long time. You know what? Hopefully she's been keeping busy in the garden in between.
I couldn't tell you what she's been doing, to be honest with you. Let's move on to the TV spot for Avengers Infinity War, a little movie coming out later in the year.
Yeah, I've heard of this one. Now, look, this trailer didn't really show a whole lot. You know what? It's good, but it's just a little bit of a beta.
Yeah, a little bit of a bait. Gave you a little bit more Tom Holland, little Spider-Man.
I still don't know why Tom Holland's taking his mask off like when it looks like he's exiting the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's probably the most important time to keep your mask on.
I would think so.
But he's a teenager. He's reckless.
Now, I think this scene, he will take that off, and I think his suit will like realize you're in danger because you're a dickhead.
Maybe.
Here comes your Iron Spider suit up to save you, because I reckon that will be, well, exactly like an Iron Man suit. It'll just be like airproof.
Yeah. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. We get one last glimpse of Thanos towards the end as well. Still looking great. Let's be honest. He does look good.
Do you think his skin tone has changed? Because there's like this debate happening on the internet. He's more pink. He's less pink.
I think that is somehow, look, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's somewhat of a character trait of Thanos himself to somewhat change shades.
Is it really?
Of purple. I could be making that up completely. Don't quote me on it, like I said, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I'm gonna go research that, and I'll come back and I'll let you know.
Well, here, how about this, Troy? In comic printing runs, it's not unusual for colors to vary from issue to issue.
Maybe that's what I mean.
So, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
He's just following comic book law.
Yeah, because we know how close, Marvel comic book movies follow the comic books, right?
It's basically like word for word.
Print to screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, I like it. Who's not going to like Avengers Infinity War? We're not going to talk about it for too long. We talk about it all the time. It comes out 25th of April for us here in Australia. A week later for everyone in America. I think everyone else gets it 25th of April.
Yeah,
as well.
I think so.
Next. Now, this is probably... I'm going to go on the record to say this is probably the one that I was the most excited about after I had seen it.
Yes.
Or one of.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
Mission Impossible Fallout or Mission Impossible 6 or Mission Impossible, how is Tom Cruise still doing the things that he's doing at 55 years old or something?
How's that make you feel as an able-bodied man at your age? Like, you see
Horrible.
him doing that, and it's like, I can't even do that. I have trouble, like, getting out of bed.
Yeah. I get off the couch and it's like...
Yeah, I creak and I crack.
Yeah, it's like I physically groan every time I have to get up out of the couch.
Those are dad noises, mate.
Those are dad noises, and I swear I don't have any children. But, it's just you get to a certain age, and regardless of whether you got kids or not, you just start making dad noises.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's, that's my story. Let's talk about Tom Cruise for a bit, because this looks good, man. I mean, I've been a fan of the whole series bar number 2, the one that was kind of set in Australia.
Oh, see, I didn't mind that one.
Directed by John Woo.
And you know what I probably liked most about that was the soundtrack to number 2.
Oh, really?
Because it did feature Metallica quite a lot.
Is that the one that had Metallica in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, maybe that was Mission Impossible 3. I thought it might have been 2.
No,
I could be
I'm
wrong.
pretty sure it was 2, because if I remember the Metallica film clip, there was like a lot of Outback Australia kind of things.
Like riding around on
like
motorbikes
vibes.
and stuff?
Yeah. And from 3, Mission Impossible 3 is where J.J. Abrams took it over and kind of like grounded it a little bit and made it kind of more about Ethan Hunt's family life and, that sort of thing. So I can't imagine Metallica would have been involved in that. Considering number 2 was kind of like balls to the wall, just ridiculous.
Insane. It was like high octane.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was probably the
It was
subtitle.
Mission Impossible 2, high octane.
I think so.
Yeah. Now, this is... it's got everybody's back that was in Mission Impossible, the last one. I want to say Rogue Nation.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you think he's
could have been Ghost Protocol?
Oh, maybe.
I'm
I haven't seen the last couple.
There's been so many.
But I need to ask you a question, Troy.
Yes.
Has he gone rogue?
I think he has.
I think he's gone rogue.
I think he has. I think this could be a situation where Henry Cavill is kind of like actually the good guy.
I think so.
Like, you know what I mean? They kind of try to paint him a little bit in the thing, him and his mustache as the bad duo.
Yeah.
But it could be just they're just playing us for fools.
I think so.
And Tom Cruise is the bad guy. I'm calling it now.
I think so. I think you're right, Troy. And I'm digging this approach if that's what they're doing.
Definitely.
Now, mustache gate.
Yes.
Worth it?
Oh, man, like it's a pretty regular looking mustache.
I think it's pretty thin looking too.
I don't know, man. Like, look, a mustache gate aside, is it integral to the character for him to have that mustache? Couldn't it just be a 3-day growth? Is there really a reason why he needed to have such a thick, bushy mustache? Is he an English gentleman? but he's not. I think he's supposed to be an American CIA agent.
Absolutely.
And I guess if I can touch on that for a second, the only thing that I do, take pause with this particular thing is his accent. Very much in the one line that he says switches between British and English, American. Sorry,
it has those tones in it, doesn't it?
Quite badly. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Action looks fucking fantastic.
Oh my god, that bathroom fight scene where we have Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill looks like they're going up against, I'm saying, another rogue agent, Troy.
Yeah, or a couple.
Yeah,
it looks like there might be a few there. Kind of heard some people that it's like Henry Cavill versus Tom Cruise in that, but I don't think that's actually the case.
No, because there is another agent in there, someone completely different. So, how hard is Henry Cavill punching in that fight?
Very hard.
Oh my goodness!
Don't forget, there's a part where I think Tom Cruise runs someone through a pole.
Yeah,
like a concrete pole, I want to say. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing. Like I said, me personally, one of the ones I was the most excited about.
Absolutely. The only thing that let me down about that trailer was the choice of music.
That was a bit weird.
It was weird. I mean, for such a high action, high staked trailer, that music was a bit meh.
Yeah, it's weird. It was a weird choice. Michelle Monaghan's back too, so that's good. That is due out the 27th of July of this year. All these movies coming out this year. It's going to be an amazing year. I think we've said that before. Now, I really want to get your thoughts on this one. This is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, or Jurassic World 2, if you want. My question to you is: how many times can they go to the well of we have genetically modified dinosaurs and we've created another one that is like really bad?
Every movie, Troy. Every movie.
That's kind of my point. Now, how many times can you do that?
Well, I think this surely would be the last time they do it. Now, this one, I thought you were going to say Jurassic Park 2.
No.
Because I thought this looked exactly like Jurassic Park 2.
Really?
Let's bring dinosaurs to the suburbs, Troy.
Are they doing that?
Yes.
I suppose you see that one shot where it's like in a house or something.
Yeah, like, why is that dinosaur so creepy? Why does that dinosaur want that girl?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It's like, why wouldn't that dinosaur just eat that girl?
Well, look, I want to throw out a theory, right? And it was it's kind of brought to my attention today from a friend of mine named Jared. Jared, if you're listening, shout out to Jared. Where in Jurassic World, the original one, they had this concept of like human dinosaur hybrid creatures.
Yes.
Right? Maybe that's what they're doing with this one. Human dinosaur hybrid. And the reason it wants that kid is because it used to be its mum or dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a massive stretch.
Or nanny. Could have anything. She was like tucking. It looked like it was trying to tuck her in.
I think so.
Yeah, so it could have just been a nanny. Who knows? But that's my theory. Human dinosaur hybrids, and that one has a relationship to that kid somehow. Best friend from school.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
That I have to say, that's a pretty massive stretch.
Oh, I'm sorry. So recreating dinosaurs in the first place is fine.
Yeah.
And then creating a theme park surrounded by dinosaurs is fine. And then having to go to another island again to save the dinosaurs because, again, they're going to become extinct because of some explosion type thing and managing to save them.
It's called a volcano, Troy.
No, but I'm talking about like the first time it was an asteroid. Now this time it's a volcano. It's like an explosion. And all that's cool. And Chris Pratt being able to outrun this volcano and all that's totally fine. Anything like
science, bro.
That's all science. That's normal. But genetically modified human dinosaur hybrid things is too far beyond your reach.
Yep. Let me meet you halfway, though.
Okay.
How about these dinosaurs are getting human-level intellect?
Why does it want the kid?
Well, I don't know, Troy. I haven't got all the answers, mate.
Well,
that's why I said halfway.
Why are we talking?
That's why I said halfway.
So you think so basically you just think they've got like human characteristics.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, every now and then they just get a real hankering for a cheeseburger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Hey, if that's the way they want to play it, if we can get to a point with Jurassic World 3 or even 4 where it's all the human characters are gone and it's now just dinosaur characters, kind of like a Planet of the Apes, but it's like Planet of the Dinosaurs.
I like that.
And it's done like the TV show Dinosaurs.
That's what was coming to mind.
There you go.
I want dinosaurs in suits.
Yeah, exactly. So Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is eventually going to become the 90s TV show Dinosaurs.
Yeah. I won't be happy until I see a boardroom full of Triceratops making meetings with T-Rexes.
Yeah. That's all I want.
Ending the war.
Yeah.
Ending the war between two dinosaurs that never actually met.
Yeah. And discussing synergy and other business things.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
Are you pumped for it?
More so than I was.
Really?
I'll give it that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good trailer. I like Chris Pratt.
He can't go wrong.
You know? So he's fine. Bryce Dallas Howard is amazing. We all know Jeff Goldblum's in this thing, so that's the thing. That kid looks funny. I don't know. Not the little kid, the other kid that's with Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, June 7, 2018.
Let's
move on to the big one. One of the big ones. I'm going to say the big one. This is the one that everyone has been kind of hankering to get their eye holes around.
Troy, this is definitely the biggest one.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Solo, a Star Wars story. What did you think? What are your first thoughts?
It's a lot gloomier than I was expecting.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what? This is obviously just the post production done to the movie. It looks a lot darker.
Oh,
a lot
you mean
grimmer.
literally darker?
Yeah, yeah.
Not like tonally.
Even tonally.
Oh, wow.
It seems like it's a little bit of a darker film. And, you know, that's also because in my mind, I had the idea that there was a lot of improv on this thing. It was going to be a little bit of a more jokey type movie.
A little bit of banter.
A little bit of banter between the characters.
Yeah.
But this trailer kind of shows nothing of that. And I know we got a new director and they basically reshot this whole movie.
Yep.
But holy moly, going from what was reported to what this is, massive difference.
Yeah, yeah. See, I would disagree in a sense of I actually thought it was kind of a bit light.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Like a little bit cheeky, a little bit fun, not too sour or dour, you know? So I thought it was cool. Like the action looks great. I will give this trailer one thing. For a movie that people have been basically bagging for the longest time without actually having anything to go off, this movie is a real shut your damn mouth sort of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel, because it's kind of like it really sort of went well above my expectations.
Yep.
And that could just be because the expectations were starting to creep lower and lower and lower with the amount of news that we got. But it really sort of shot past that. And I think Alden Ehrenreich looks great, even if he doesn't necessarily look like a young Harrison Ford, which I wouldn't necessarily want, if you get my drift.
See, I want him to look a little bit more Harrison Fordy. I think they could have done more with the hair. I think it's the hair that lets it down.
It could be the hair. I do get it. Some of the mannerisms he's got, like he's got the old Han Solo cheeky smirk action going on and all that sort of stuff. But this is his take on it, and there are a lot of people that are still very concerned about this kid, and the fact that they had to bring in an acting coach and all that sort of stuff. Bringing in an acting coach is completely normal. That doesn't necessarily mean that the guy can't act. You got to think about it like this for a second. They had a completely different shift. So what they initially had is they had Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and they were there and they were coming out and saying, just do what you want, like do your thing, like make shit up, this, that, and the other, and all that sort of stuff. Then Kathleen Kennedy and Lawrence Kasdan and all that sort of stuff come along and go, hey, you guys are out. We're bringing in Ron Howard, completely new director, and we're taking it in this direction. Want it to be more straight, want it to be more serious. And it's kind of like, okay, why would you not then bring in someone to help the kid get into the character that they want?
Yeah, I think effectively he had to recalibrate himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And completely understandable.
Yep. Now think about this for a second. This is a little bit of trivia that you might not know. 2,500 people auditioned for the role of young Han Solo.
Really?
Alden Ehrenreich was the first, and he was the one who was successful. So 2,499-ish other people auditioned after him, and they still went back and said that this is the guy we want. And man, I mean, Lucasfilm can fool you a couple of times, but you'd put your trust in them to get it right. You know what I mean?
I think so.
And there are a couple of people there, Lawrence Kasdan, as an example, who know the character very, very well. And if they are the people that are kind of going, this is the right kid, then this is going to be the right kid.
Cool. Troy, I've got a question about the Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Now, in this, we
very
see
clean.
this very clean. It's like pristine. It's like a bloody dentist office. They're clean, aren't they?
It's like one of those before and after dentist teeth things.
That's exactly what I kind of think of. Is like, here's the guy that drinks coffee every day and He is a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, why is this Millennium Falcon so filthy? Is Han a dirty, dirty boy?
Look, I think it's just space junk, like space muck.
You reckon?
Well, you think about how bad road grime is. Like when you're just driving around all the time, and if you don't wash your car like within a week, like you got that road grime shit all over
But
it.
what
You got
about on
bugs
the
and stuff.
inside?
Yeah, it happens. It happens on the inside. You get all dust and shit on the inside, especially if you're using your air conditioning, which I'm assuming you would do if you're in a Millennium Falcon in space because you can't exactly roll the windows down. So all that is, it's just a car that hasn't necessarily been to McSud's car wash yet.
That's fair.
And look, this isn't a Hyundai i30 like some of us drive. This is a giant spaceship that would literally take weeks. And when you're a smuggler on the run,
you haven't got time.
You don't have time. You know, you're trying to do Kessel runs and shit. So what are you going to do? Stop and clean your goddamn ship?
Are we going to see the Kessel Run, Troy?
I believe.
Are we going to see the famed Kessel Run?
I believe we are going to actually see the Kessel Run in this movie. Reports are.
Do you think it's going to be he's being bullshitting about it the whole time? I think they're going to do it.
Oh, man.
I think
you
it's
reckon?
not. Yeah, of course. They'll have to.
So,
I mean, it's totally in Han Solo's character to bullshit.
Yeah. So, you know, he's the whole, you know, under 12 parsecs or whatever.
And he would have done it in like 18.
Yeah. Well, look, maybe. I get it. Like, it's completely within the character. I'd like it if they did that. It'd be like pretty funny.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I'll do it.
Who knows what? There's been a couple of directors. Anything could happen. One thing you did see is the little gold dice.
Yes.
That we saw at the end of The Last Jedi. So they're going to come into play, which is good.
Yeah, very good. What do you think of Childish Gambino?
Donald Glover looks amazing.
Does he not look like the most perfect fit for this role?
Yeah, 100%. Like, they've absolutely nailed his mustache as well. With the big gap.
Yes.
Like in between the two bushes. Like, what do you call opposite sides of a mustache? Brows?
Yes. He's got mustache
lip brows.
Yeah, lip brows.
His right lip brow is perfectly separated from his left one.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's amazing. He looks great. Amelia Clarke looks great.
Everyone looks great.
She's a new character, by the way, like not something that's necessarily known before. I believe her name is Kira. It's Q- or comma IRA, which I would pronounce as Kira.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to get a whole bunch of nerd babies with that name now.
Dead set. So, look, how do you feel now? Like, where are your hype levels for this?
You know what? It looks fun.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it's going to be a fun movie. The teaser trailer kind of showed a couple of different scenes that we don't get in the main trailer.
Yep.
I kind of like how the Empire's like, hey, come join the Empire. You're going to have a great time.
Yeah, it's like a recruiting drive sort of thing.
Absolutely.
It's almost like he's going in there for a job.
Yes.
Because he doesn't know what else to do. It's like, I just want to be a pilot, so these guys are hiring. I'm going to go in there, and obviously shit goes wrong.
I like that. It's kind of like a side of the Empire that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like, the normal guys who are like genuinely have a job, they're the backpackers of the universe.
Yeah, well, they're the sanitation guys and, you know, stuff like that. The Finns of the world that actually have a proper job to do on the Death Star and whatnot. Woody Harrelson.
Loving it.
I get to see a good shot of the blaster on his hip.
Hell yeah, you do.
That's good. I like that. Plenty of good shit.
Now, I said something to you before we started recording is he got kicked out of the Imperial Army.
Right.
I would think they would just execute him.
Maybe
they weren't so ruthless back then.
Maybe this is
like, hey guys, we're here to make a change in the world. Look,
it's kind of like
there's talks that we've got a new boss coming on in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Look, we've heard lots of great things about him. He's done a lot of great work over in the Jedi Council.
Yep.
He really cleaned it up.
Oh God, it's look, it's it's kind of like a pre-Hitler Germany.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of the bad dudes, but like they're not as bad as they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So direct comparison between Vader and Hitler.
Wow.
Right there. Take it. Don't at me. 24th of May, 2018, that comes out. Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2, baby.
Deadpool 2. This dropped out of nowhere. This is one of those ones that I was not expecting. And then all of a sudden they're just like, Deadpool trailer, take that. And this is all about Cable. This is kind of introducing you to Cable.
I like it.
Do you like it?
Josh Brolin looks amazing.
He does look amazing, man.
He looks a lot leaner than I was expecting.
Yeah, not as big, not as bulky.
And, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because Josh Brolin has this like oddly large head.
It's true.
But he looks great in this.
Yeah.
Like, I think him kind of slimming down has like slimmed down that face a bit so he doesn't look like so old man-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
And he looks fantastic. The metal arm looks amazing.
It does. I like the way that they played it off with, you know, how it's like pre-CGI.
Yes.
And all that sort of stuff.
And the little like throwaway to DC, this isn't a mustache.
Yeah. It's good, man. They do this so well. The marketing team is amazing. I guess it's also a little bit of a, like, I want to say it's a little bit of a dig at the fans who are very, very, like, they're kind of always, every time a trailer or a teaser trailer comes out, whereas, that's got to be pre-CGI.
Yes.
Or the CGI still looks shitty, but maybe they'll fix it before the thing comes. So maybe a little bit of a dig at the fans as well. Ryan Reynolds would not, he's the type of guy to do it.
Yeah. Did you see the international version of this trailer?
I didn't.
No, either did I. Apparently there's a little bit of Colossus action in there.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of love action, I believe.
Yeah, like a little
bit of hugging it out.
Groping or something.
Yeah, nice. I didn't see that. You get to see everyone.
Yeah.
What do we even talk about? Like, it looks great.
How amazing does Nagasaki Teenage Warhead look?
Sorry. Did you say Nagasaki Teenage Warhead? Negasonic.
Negasonic?
Yeah.
I know where I got Nagasaki from.
It's in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah. It's
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Probably not the best country to, talk about warheads with, considering they were bombed back in the day.
Wow.
Okay.
Terrible connection there.
Very terrible connection. Negasonic Teenage Warhead does look amazing, as does Domino. Zazie Beetz. We get to see a little bit of her. Not a great deal.
Just a little bit of elbow action.
A little bit of elbowing and some stuff.
And everyone's favorite character from the first movie, Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver's back. As is the kid from, Hunt for the Wilder People, that little New Zealand kid, Jacob something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
He's in it too. He's funny, but I don't know what he's going to do in this movie. I don't know what he's doing in this movie.
Is he the kid in the Lynx ad on TV?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I thought I recognized that face.
If you haven't seen the Lynx ad, check that out. That's classic Australian/New Zealand humor.
It's pretty good.
Love it. Deadpool 2, I don't actually have the release date. I'm so sorry.
Not good enough, Troy.
I have failed you all. But we know it's coming out this year, and it's coming out soon, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to roll through the last two. Maybe not the last one. We're just running out of time. Jessica Jones, Season 2. That also dropped this week. Wasn't really expecting that either, but this looks great.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty interested to see what happens this season. She still looks like she's battling with herself, which is a little bit odd to me.
I kind of thought she was starting to, like, I know it's very much in line with the character, but I really thought she was starting to, like, kind of get over that a little bit in the Defenders.
Exactly. That's what I thought too. But it obviously seems like she's having a bit of an identity crisis because she's, one of the lines she says in this is something along the lines of, I don't want to be part of this, like, vigilante bullshit.
Yeah.
So, come on, Jessica, man. Sort it out.
Sort it out. Sort your shit out. Followed directly by a reference to who? Captain America.
Now, how do you feel about that?
I love it. Thank you, whoever has been listening to this podcast from Netflix and Marvel and have stopped this horseshit, the flag waver, or the shield dude, or the underpants guy, all that sort of stuff, man. Like, just say it. And I like the fact that they're finally doing it. Doesn't mean that they're going to start connecting the two or anything like that. Like, I don't think they're, like, the Netflix guys are going to be joining, like, any, 10th anniversary MCU, like, photo shoots or anything like that.
You never know.
But you never know. But I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Bring it on.
Last one. Venom. That also came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did.
Now, look, talk to me about this because this is kind of, I want to say it's very divisive amongst fans, but it's not because most people just flat out didn't like it.
Yeah, and I'm probably one of those people. I didn't hate it, but I'm just kind of like, okay, meh. Think of the average moviegoer who, like, isn't a super, I guess, comic book fan.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I know Spider-Man, but who's this Venom guy?
Yeah.
This trailer gives nothing to those people.
Yeah, but it's a minute and a half, like, teaser trailer.
Okay, compare that to the Han Solo, though.
I get it.
It's chalk and cheese, really.
It is, but, I mean, you're also talking about, like, I don't know. I think the Han Solo movie has had a lot more press than Venom.
I
think
will
there's
give you that.
Like a lot more pressure for that to actually deliver something.
But in saying that, like that could also give it the opportunity to not, I guess, show as much as it needs to.
Yeah.
I feel like Venom really need to take that extra step and like maybe just tease the symbiote a little bit more, because we do see the symbiote in like a little glass capsule bubbling around. And if you didn't know that was the symbiote, no one would ever know.
Well, that's true, but I mean, you're kind of like, you're just trying to piece together what's happening. It's just teasing little things.
But even for like a massive, I guess, fan of these movies like me, I was still like, I still don't really know what's going on in this movie.
Yeah. I try to look at it as like like an introduction to Eddie Brock rather than anything else.
Yeah, but even then it doesn't tell a whole lot, if anything.
Well, he's troubled.
He is troubled.
And he's sick.
And he's in an MRI machine.
Exactly. And, he's got a lot of stuff going on in his life.
He does.
You can tell that.
He's stressing about paying rent because he's in the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, I do understand the criticisms in the fact that this movie, like this trailer, could have been anything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I do get it. I'm really... Like, I want to know what people wanted from this. That's kind of,
They wanted to see Venom.
Exactly, but do you want to see Venom?
Exactly. I wouldn't want to see Venom as a whole. I want to see stuff alluding to it.
So you just want to see, like, maybe, like, the symbiote moving along his hand?
Yeah,
or, something.
It's starting to transform him, but you don't see that. Like, I would see every part of Venom Buddy's face. Right. That will spoil it for me.
I guarantee that we'll get something when the first official trailer drops.
100%. We'll get a backstory. We'll get a real backstory.
And I think, like, they might learn from this. You could you can go one of two ways. You can either say it's a dead set mistake that they did it this way and they gave away absolutely nothing. But you could also look at it from the sense of maybe that's a good thing. Like, they haven't given too much away. They're saving it for the big reveal. Maybe they'll drop a little bit more in the trailer. It could build up excitement, but it just seems to be building up like fanboy angst. Which is pretty easy to do these days, by the way.
Absolutely. The only thing I am worrying about is that we kind of get a Spider-Man Homecoming thing here, where they tried to hold back a little bit too much here, and there's a little bit of backlash. And I feel like the next couple of trailers may just kind of show everything.
Maybe.
And I don't want that.
We'll certainly find out. Venom, I believe, comes out in the 10th month of the year, which I think is October.
Correct.
That's correct. Cloverfield. A word you can now seemingly throw somewhere in the title of your movie, add a monster with swollen glands somewhere towards the end, and apparently claim to be part of a shared universe, or multiverse, if you will. The first Cloverfield installment dropped way back in 2008, with its sequel of sorts dropping 8 years later in 2016. Now, after long teasing a new Cloverfield tie-in with a movie thought to be titled God Particle, Netflix dropped a Godzilla-sized bombshell on us all at Super Bowl Sunday, as they announced the movie was in fact titled The Cloverfield Paradox, and would be available, I should say, to stream directly after the game. And we watched it, and now we're going to give you our thoughts, mini review styles.
Yeah.
That's a thing I just made up.
Okay, cool.
Hit us with a movie synopsis.
So, orbiting a planet on the brink of war, scientists test a device to solve an energy crisis and end up face to face with a dark alternative reality.
Look, I don't necessarily agree with that. Now, I do what I want to get out there first.
Okay.
Are we doing just straight up balls to the wall spoilers?
I think so, because this movie is available at, like, you can click and play this right now.
Right now.
It's not like you have to drive to the cinema.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll go through the rest of the formalities.
Yeah, cool.
Then we'll give a very quick, hey, if you haven't seen this yet, should you watch it? Maybe not, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just making it up on the fly.
Now,
the critical reception.
Yeah, it hasn't been fantastic, Troy. So this is kind of getting hammered everywhere from critics and, I guess, fans alike. So IMDb have rated it at a 5.9.
Yep.
Rotten Tomatoes has rated this at 19% rotten with an audience score of 56%. Now, going on Rotten Tomatoes, I guess, measurement, this is rotten in both areas. Anything under 60% is considered rotten by Rotten Tomatoes. So it's not winning anywhere there. Metacritic has rated it at 36.
Damn.
And CinemaScore are just refusing to put out a rating.
It didn't go to a cinema.
It didn't go to a cinema.
Why would they give it a score? The cast is interesting in the sense of I'm going to butcher almost every single name. And I do apologize if any of you who are involved in the Cloverfield Paradox are listening. I do apologize for about to butcher your names. We had Gugu Mbatha Raw as Hamilton, David Oyelowo as Keel, Daniel Bruhl as Schmidt, Elizabeth Debicki as Jensen, Chris O'Dowd as Mundy, Ji Zhang as Tam, John Ortiz as Monk, and Askell Henny as Volkov. And even though you were beside me, almost dying, I kept it together pretty well. I think I did pretty good, except maybe the first couple.
Yeah, good work.
Thank you so much.
You know, I'm sure people out there have like butchered those names worse than you have. So yeah, I feel like you're in the middle.
Yeah, look, I've got to be somewhere towards the middle to top, just slightly above average.
Yeah.
And now this was directed by Julius Onah, and this was actually his second feature film, done plenty of shorts before. You could almost say that it was his first feature film because his first one was not seen by anybody.
What was it?
I can't remember what it's called.
No one even knows.
No one knows.
It's been deleted from history.
All right, so look, that's the formalities. Now, very briefly, overall, what did you think? And for the people that haven't seen it before we get deep into spoilers, should they go and see it?
Yeah, watch it. Because it's okay. Go in there without the impression that this is connected to the Cloverfield universe at all. Because I feel like this original title being called God Particle makes sense.
Yeah.
The fact that they've I feel like they've just slopped in a couple of areas for Cloverfield to connect it to this universe. Because there's 3 scenes?
Yeah.
In the whole movie.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah. And you can't really talk about much more without going into spoilers as to how it all connects and all that sort of stuff. I would agree in the sense of definitely go watch it. I would say go watch it knowing that it's part of this shared universe.
Yeah, really.
And just trying to figure out how, like how it is,
look,
and where it all fits in.
Bollock from Gotham does show up quite early and explains how this is going to happen, and you're just like, yep, so that just told me everything I need to know that's going to happen in the rest of this movie.
Yep.
So that spoils it pretty early on, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. That's my recommendation, though.
Yeah.
Go out and see it. Let's get into some spoilers.
All
right. Now, honestly, what did you think?
I thought this movie was quite funny for what it actually was. Like, this movie had a fair bit of humor in it. Like, it tried to be dark when it didn't need to. I think I should have stayed on this like half light, half scientific journey.
Yeah.
The scene where I don't even know the guy's name. I am so sorry. He loses an arm.
Yeah, so that's Mundy.
Yeah. That was the highlight of this movie for me.
Really?
That was fantastic.
Yeah. Probably one of the things that maybe didn't really make sense, though.
But like the whole movie really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it's kind of the point to it, I guess.
Yeah. This movie can break its own rules because the universe is breaking its own rules.
Yeah. Look, I will say this. I will say that the first hour had me captivated, right? Like, and I'm serious, because I actually got a phone call as I was an hour into this movie and I got a phone call that I had to take. It was important. And I was quite like...
Was it the president?
It was the president.
That makes sense.
And I had to go...
You had to take those calls.
Yeah, I had to go save Christmas. So I had to take it. And Christmas is fine for this year, by the way. Ooh. So you're welcome, everybody. But I had to take a phone call. I was very kind of like, man, come on. Like, this is happening. Like, I'm really like keen into this. Once I finished what I had to do and got back to it, it didn't take long before I was kind of like, nah, Like, and then you get towards the end of the movie and the end of the movie, and I'm kind of like, wow, like, was it worth it? Like, they had something that seemed like it was going to be really good, and they somehow managed in the third act to just fuck it.
I'll agree with you.
Yeah?
I'll agree, because I was so invested in probably that first 2/3 of this movie.
Yep.
And then something happened that I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to start looking at the Facebooks.
Yeah, the Facebooks.
Because now I don't care about this movie.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like I was just looking at it over the top of my iPad for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Do you think this was like? Do you think this was kind of like a move by? Because how all this happened, Paramount sold this movie to Netflix for $50 million. So I don't know what the budget of this movie is, but Paramount sold it for $50 million. Netflix, who apparently has all the money in the world, bought it.
Said, yeah, why not?
And said, we'll do this. And they've thrown it out there. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is a move by Paramount because they knew that they had like shit on their hands.
I'll believe that. 100%.
And it's kind of like, let's offload this. And then kind of basically what they've done is like, and you know, this isn't necessarily like factual, right? This is just what I've heard. They've gone and reshot certain scenes to make it fit in with Cloverfield.
Yes.
To then, you know, be able to take God Particle out, slap Cloverfield on, and go, bam, here's this thing. And I guarantee you, because of doing that, a lot of people would have just been like, holy shit, I'm going to watch this.
Yeah.
And they would have gotten mad downloads.
Yep, absolutely.
Or streams.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think that's exactly what's happened here. Every Earth-based scene looks like it's been added in.
Yeah. That's fair. Look, I don't... Because it doesn't really connect.
No,
like the two don't really connect at all.
See, they have this throwaway line where they say, if you do this, it's going to bring potentially monsters not only to our time, but into the future, into the past.
Yeah.
So, because this movie is apparently set in 2024 or something like that.
Yeah. Now, I guess one thing that we've got to understand, and you know, for those of you that know the Cloverfield movies, or maybe you don't like necessarily know them so well, they're not necessarily directly tied in together, right? So, and that's kind of what they're trying to build here. They're trying to build, hey, there's actually a multiverse, right? So the events in Cloverfield 2008...
Happened on Earth 1?
Yeah, as an example. And that's why they're not referenced in 10 Cloverfield Lane, but you still see them. That's on Earth 2.
Yeah, right.
Then this is Earth 3. We get to see Earth 4 while we're in this actual, like in this movie and stuff like that. So, but what I do like about this, if they had have done it right, is I really like the fact that like this could open up like a whole new world, like of these, like you could put these monsters or whatever anywhere, right? And reports are that the next one is going to be set in World War II. And they like there's you know, soldiers that are doing experiments on things and stuff like that, and then probably 5 minutes towards the end, bang, Cloverfield, there's that monster, remember him? That's what I don't want.
Really?
Because
kind of makes it all irrelevant.
Well, it's kind of like, it's almost like, you know, they're just doing it like they're just throwing a monster in the end to remind you that this is connected to Cloverfield.
Yeah.
If they're going to do another Cloverfield movie, give us some answers. Like, let us know what they are.
Absolutely.
We know how they came to be now because of the Cloverfield Paradox, but what are they?
Yeah, we got one of the questions here is like, what killed it for you? And what killed it for me is that this left me with more questions than answers.
Yep.
That's a really good segue that you just set up for me, mate.
No problems. Which is kind of like, you could say the same thing for 10 Cloverfield Lane, but 10 Cloverfield Lane did it so well that it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that movie, like, you went into that movie not really knowing what it was about. You just kind of knew it was 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's possibly connected somehow.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then you're watching this movie, which is more like a, you know, like an escape kind of like
drama.
Yeah, like thriller or something like that. It's like, you know, is John Goodman bad? Yes, you can tell he's bad straight away.
Because he's John fucking Goodman.
He's always bad.
He's the worst.
And then right at the end, they just throw this curveball at you, and you're like, holy shit.
He wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong. Maybe he was a good guy after all.
Maybe society's the enemy here, Troy.
Maybe. Yeah, so they did that well, whereas this necessarily, like, it felt like it was kind of forced in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if that makes sense. So what are your thoughts on the whole Cloverfield universe, in the sense of what do you want to see, or what do you hope to see as it goes forward? Because I don't think it's going to stop.
Yeah, look, the very first Cloverfield movie was a movie that I didn't think I would enjoy. It was one of those found footage films. It was done really, really well.
Yeah.
It had like so much mystery around it, but that mystery is still there. Nothing's really been answered for me.
And it's been like 12 goddamn years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Matt Reeves directed that.
did he really?
Yes, he did.
No wonder it was amazing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the final scene in Cloverfield, if you haven't seen it, this is a fucking spoiler. And
The movie's 12-year-old.
this is your
12
fault.
Years old.
You deserve to hear this. Is that we see an atomic bomb go off in New York City.
Yeah.
What happens after that? Did it kill the monster?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you're just led to assume that it does because remember at the start it was like kind of like there were the words on the screen and it's kind of like, you know, this was footage found at site, you know, whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you can assume that it was all successful. When I went into watching 10 Cloverfield Lane, I knew that there was a connection.
Yes.
And I knew that, you know, something pops up and you see that it's related and all that sort of stuff. What I didn't realize is that, like, I thought that it just wasn't referenced. Like, the events in 2008 just wasn't referenced.
Yeah.
And they had actually legitimately come back and started to take over the Earth.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I
the
thought.
first one was just a scout. Apparently, that's not true. Apparently, they're trying to play like none of it is related, but it kind of all is. But they're just, you know, like I said earlier, it's just multi-Earths.
That's gross.
It's the multiverse.
That's gross. Put that straight in the bin. Make it all connected, mate. Make it a battle for the Earth.
Yeah. Although, like again, I mean, like that's something we've seen so many times before, though. Like, why not have it as a multiverse? That's fine. Like, unlimited possibilities.
Absolutely.
Which is great. It can be any Earth, anytime, anywhere, ever. All I want is more answers. Start to uncover what these things are. Don't just throw them at us right towards the end. And have one that's like as big as the clouds.
That's ridiculous.
That's
wasn't
too damn
it?
big.
That's way too big. You would see that monster from like literally 100 kilometers away.
You'd see it from space.
You would see that from space.
If you can see the goddamn Great Wall of China from space,
You'll see that damn monster.
you can see that damn monster that's like bigger than the clouds.
That's
That's just too big
Godzilla ain't even that big.
That's
at his biggest form.
in his final form.
In his final form.
Maybe it had wings. Maybe it was just really big and it had wings, but that was too goddamn big.
Maybe it jumped up.
Maybe it's the shack of Cloverfield monsters.
Maybe he was dunking on another monster.
Yeah, maybe it was just like it was, you know, 5 or 6 of these Cloverfield monsters that were just having a pickup game of basketball.
Oh my god.
There's a
Cloverfield
movie.
Jam.
Yes.
That's a new Space Jam.
Do it. Cloverfield Jam.
Kobe Bryant's going to save Earth.
No, it's going to be LeBron James.
LeBron
now.
James?
Yeah, LeBron James is he's gonna save Earth.
Yes.
He's going to assemble a ragtag team of like underdogs. Speaking about underdogs again.
Oh, yeah.
Air Bud will be there.
Air Bud is there, definitely.
Air Bud makes his comeback. And it's freaking LeBron James. It's LeBron James, Air Bud, Bill Murray, Rick from Rick and Morty. No, Morty from Rick and Morty, not Rick.
Yeah.
And
Wait, is Bill Murray in his Ghostbusters outfit, though?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then some other random like animated character that I can't think of right now. Think of one. Go.
Jessica Rabbit.
Sure.
Need someone sexy in there.
Wow. Okay, so what do we got? We've got LeBron James, Bill Murray. Who was the second person I said?
Can't remember.
Can't remember. All those people.
Everyone else is bench. You only need Bill Murray and LeBron James.
That's true. So Bill Murray and LeBron James, Air Bud it was.
Air Bud.
Yeah, so...
He's there in the final quarter if we need him.
Yeah. So these guys basically get together, pick up game. They're like, hey, you know, like, hey, you monsters. We want to save the Earth. We're going to play basketball for it. And the monsters are like, all right, then. You see how tall I am? My head's in the clouds, dickhead. And you're like,
oh, we need Woody Harrelson as well.
yeah, Woody Harrelson will be there somewhere. And they're like, hey, I don't care. I'm LeBron James. I'm the king. And then they fight.
Yeah.
Basketball styles.
I like that. Prison rules.
Prison rules, basketball, 5 on
Shirts
5.
versus skins.
Obama comes in because he likes to game pick up
Oh, he
basketball every
does.
now and then. He comes in and he like space jams it on someone, and then that monster's like that was the monster dunking on like LeBron.
Does President Trump come in like, I'm the best basketball player ever?
No.
No?
Nah, not in my movie.
Okay.
So anyway, I don't know where that went. But Cloverfield Jam, that's coming up in 2020.
Now Troy, let's move on. Do you rate it or do you hate it?
Look, this is one. If we had the
middle,
the middle. So I want to give a shout out to, I believe it's Rob from the Facebook listener community.
Yeah.
And he came up with a little, like a rating system called hit, split, or shit.
Oh,
Right.
I like. Do you want to run with this?
Maybe. We might run with it. But I'm going to go split because I actually think that there were some really good moments in this movie. Probably more the idea for Cloverfield Space Jam. But I think there were really, really good things within this movie, especially, like I said, within the first hour. I was wrapped, man. I was like, this movie's got me. And then it just went downhill from there. And that's kind of why I'm split on it. So I'm down the middle. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to split it too because there was more to this movie that I enjoyed than I disliked.
Okay. Wouldn't that be a rate then?
No. No.
We've used this new rating system for
Troy,
a total of 30 seconds, and you have butchered it already.
It wasn't that much good.
Okay. All right. Now, I know you did want to touch on how Netflix is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, now, do you think we're going to see more movies offloading their shit productions to Netflix?
Well, see, this is the thing. Now, I can pretty much confirm, this is a you heard it here first, unless you've heard it somewhere else already. That should probably be like the bottom part of the you heard it here first thing.
With an asterisk.
Asterisk, unless you've heard it somewhere else already. The movie Annihilation, that was due to come out based on the book, that was due to come out to cinemas, everybody believed. I'm under the impression is actually going direct to Netflix.
Yeah, right.
Dropping like February the 23rd. So instead of getting a cinematic release, there's a movie like this got Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson. Like this is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's got like some big name actors. It's from a great book. And this is one that apparently has been sold off to Netflix for Netflix to just dump in its streaming system. So I don't know if that is like testament to the quality of the movie. I hope not, because I'm quite looking forward to it. But this seems to be the way of the future.
You know what? I'm looking forward to it if this is the way of the future. I feel like we're going to get better productions. I mean, sure, we kind of hit a roadblock on our first one.
Yeah.
But they're going to learn from this. What's exciting about this, Troy, though, is they might be able to pump a little bit more money into actual movies rather than promotions now.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of this rule of thumb that whatever you spend on a movie, you spend that on marketing. So
you double it.
You double it. So you got a $300 million movie, you got $300 million of marketing.
Yep.
Which makes that a $600 million before you're in the black.
Yeah.
This is going to change that.
Yep.
Massively.
If you can spend $300 million on a movie, make $100 million of that back immediately by selling it.
Yeah.
Or like maybe the whole thing. I don't know how it works. But maybe you make the whole $300 million back just by selling it. Netflix does the whole marketing.
Yep.
Done.
Game changing, man.
It is.
Especially with Disney coming out with their own streaming service shortly.
Yeah, well, look, Netflix do need to find a way to compete.
And I think this is the way they're going to do it.
Yeah. I like it, man. Look, I hope we get some good stuff coming out this way. Because, look, I am a fan of cinema of old, right? I do like to go. I like the experience of going to the cinema. I'm happy to pay the money that I have to pay. I do want to go there, and I want the experience, and I want to see it on the big screen, and I want the sound, and I want the atmosphere, right? I do like that. But I also like my couch.
Yeah.
And I don't. I'm split on which one I like more. Is it cinema as it was, or is it my couch as it is? Because I could go either way. And let me tell you, if this streaming service is going to give us movies like, sure, the Cloverfield Paradox, but maybe Annihilation and things further and further down the track, man, I'll never leave home.
And that's going to do it for another week, Troy.
That's it.
That's it.
What are we doing next week? You don't even know.
I don't even know. Are we talking Black Panther next week?
Well, look, we have the option to talk Black Panther if we want to talk about Black Panther 2 days after it drops.
Oh.
Or we could also talk about the Justice League digital release, which coincidentally happens to drop like 2 days before Valentine's Day, if anyone's listening.
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
So yeah, if you want to fork out $30 on that for me for Valentine's Day, I'll be there. So it could be that.
Let's do that.
Hey, where
how about let me just talk.
Okay, sorry.
How about we throw it out to the listeners?
Sure.
Black Panther or Justice League Revisited?
And then Black Panther next
and
week.
Black Panther.
Black Panther is definitely coming. All right, hey, we'll put up a poll in the Facebook listener community.
I like that. Let's do that.
Now, the reason why I say Facebook listener community is because it is probably the spot where we are the most active.
Absolutely.
Now, we have a Facebook and a Twitter and an Instagram and all that sort of stuff, and we'll get to that. But to be quite honest with you, the Facebook listener community is where we spend a lot of our time. And the reason for that is because we really want to interact with you guys and hear what you guys have to say and think and, doing stuff.
I feel like our listeners are way more educated to talk about the things that we talk about.
Yeah, it's like a really big family. If your family was Italian and there were hundreds of people in it.
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And look, if you want to be a part of that, we would love to have you. And that's Facebook. There you go, search the Comic Confidential listener community.
You'll find us in there, baby.
Where else can they find us?
Troy, we also have a standard Facebook page, believe it or not, and that's Comic Confidential.
It is.
Find that. We post new episodes on there all the time. We do have a Twitter and an Instagram, like you did allude to earlier, and that's at ComicConPod. We have a website, Troy, and that's comicconpod.com. Past episodes, future episodes, and everything that is also in between.
That is true. If you want to support the show, you can support the show at patreon.com/ComicConPod, where you'll get all the coolest shit. Now, I want to mention some of the cool shit that you get.
Okay.
Okay. So for like $1, this whole show that you just listened to was live streamed, baby.
That's major.
And I couldn't see myself the whole time, so I don't know what the hell was happening. But hopefully...
You've been looking at the wrong camera the
I
whole
have.
time.
I've been looking over here. It's not even on. Hopefully the Patreon community liked what they saw. Probably not. So anyway, that's one of the things you can get. You can also get access to a super secret Patreon chat group.
That blows up.
It blows up.
It's unbelievable.
Blow your damn phone up. And you can also, there's other sweet things like early access episodes, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to talk about it for too long. Patreon.com/ComicConPod. Do that. That's it.
That's it. We're done, baby.
We are done. We talked about 17,000 trailers. We talked about the Cloverfield Paradox.
We pitched the new movie.
We pitched a whole new movie, Cloverfield Jam. Hey, if you like what you listen to, join us next week. We'll be back. I swear we'll be back. What are you looking at me like that for? Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace. Whip that live stream back up, baby.
Oh, you want that live stream? If you love this podcast, then head over to comicconpod.com to check out the other incredible shows on our network.
You can also support us on Patreon from as little as $1 a month.
You'll get early access to all our shows, plus secret supporter content that's not available to the public.
Head over to patreon.com/ComicConPod to find out more.